Hi, I'm here with David Prowse, who was in the first set of trilogies in the Star Wars saga. So, Mr. Prowse, you're famous for playing one of the greatest villains in movie history, Darth Vader. How did you get the part?
It came from a film I did years before. In 1971, I did a very famous film called Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, and George Lucas saw me in Clockwork Orange and remembered me for 5 years. And in 1976, he came to London and was casting for Star Wars, and I went to see him, and he said, "I'd like to offer you one of 2 parts in this movie I'm doing." And I said, "What are the 2 parts?" He said, "Well, the first one's a character called Chewbacca." And I said, "What's Chewbacca?" And he said, "It's like a hairy gorilla." And I said, "No, I don't fancy that one very much." And I said, "What's the other one?" And he said, "Well, the other one's the big villain of the film, a character called Darth Vader." And I said, "Yes, please, I'll have the villain part." And that was how it all happened. Simple as that.
Yeah. Was it difficult getting around the helmet?
The helmet and the mask. The helmet wasn't too bad, but the mask was the big problem because they made the mask miles too big. And they then decided they didn't want to make the mask a smaller one, so they padded the whole of the inside of the mask out with foam rubber, which made it very, very hot, and all the heat used to rise up inside the costume and rise up inside the helmet and mixed up the eyepieces, and I couldn't see where I was going.
I'm a Monty Python fan, so I'm a little curious about a movie you made with Michael Palin called Jabberwock. Can you tell me about it?
It was a very interesting movie to do. It was directed by Terry Gilliam, who was also one of the Monty Python team. And I played 2 parts in the movie. I played the part of the Red Knight, who was one of the good knights, and I also played the evil Black Knight who killed the Red Knight. So this gives you some idea as to what the film was like. And in fact, what was happening was the Red Knight goes off to meet the dragon, to kill the dragon, and on his way he meets up with the Black Knight, and the Black Knight kills the Red Knight, all right, and then the Black Knight goes on to fight with the dragon, and they asked me if I would play the dragon as well, and but in the finish I only just did the 2 roles in the movie, but it was a great fun movie to do.
You even played the Frankenstein monster in Horror of Frankenstein.
Sorry, I did what? I played, yes. Yeah, I did.
You've done some Shakespeare on television. Would you like to tell us about it?
The only one I've done is actually Shakespeare's As You Like It. I played Charles the Wrestler in As You Like It, which was wonderful because we filmed the Glamis Castle, which was the birthplace of the Queen Mother in Great Britain, and it was beautiful. And it was, I always have terrible difficulties learning lines, and it takes me ages and ages and ages to learn dialogue. But with Shakespeare, I found I could learn it quite easily, and I just seemed to do it so very, very quickly. So it was a nice thing to do.
What is your favorite role?
My favorite role? Well, I've had some interesting parts in the time, but I think the favourite job I've ever had, I was the figurehead of the British government road safety campaign for children. That was the big thing. I did it for 14 years. I travelled all over the world giving talks to children in schools about how to keep safe on the roads, and I think that was my favourite job of all time. As far as acting is concerned, I think probably Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell was one of my favourite roles. I think that was a good acting role. And I also did a very, very good television series in Great Britain called The Rose Medallion, which I played the cousin of a very, very seedy, run-down detective. And I thought that was a very good acting role for me.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you. Thank you.